How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another video, and today we are looking at patch notes 10.3, so let's get right into it. I'm going to make sure the zoom is good. That's a bit too big. There we go. Perfect. 10.3. So they're giving a little overhaul of who was buffed, who was nerfed, and then the skins, which we can get a brief look at. So Heartseeker Jinx, True Damage Senna Prestige Edition, and then Heartseeker Yuumi. So what did they do? Champions Akali, Q cost increase, W shroud movement increase, and now decays, and R now targets champions not in a direction. Okay. So Q 5-point strike now costs 120, 115, 110, 105, 100 energy. That is up from 100 to 80 energy. So it's going to cost 20 energy more at all ranks. So it's a bit more expensive to use on wave clear. Twilight Shroud, movement speed is increased by 10% at all ranks, but has a decay for 2 seconds. Yeah, so decay movement speed. So it's probably going to work out to be the same. An initial burst, but slower, less on the tail end of it. Perfect execution. R1 targeting champion, so you have to target the champion on the first dash. So that's the one where she does like the little mini flip. They used to have the mini stun, and it's based on the distance is based on the from the enemy. So the range is 675, but the dash distance is based on how far you are away from the enemy. I'm not sure if that scales indefinitely or it's like per level. I'm not sure. That's a bit kind of worded a bit weird, but so I guess it's gonna be easy to hit the first part of the R. The second R is still gonna be a skill shot. So basically, they nerfed Akali. I thought that she was already a bad champion. She is now probably not pickable at all, in my opinion. Aphelios, Q enemy attack range is no longer infinite. Okay, that's fine. I mean, 1800 range is still ridiculously far. Just for context, your screen is around 1500 range, so basically he can hit you from a screen away, pretty much, or thereabouts. So yeah. Azir, base mana increased, R number of soldiers increased. So his wall length goes 6, 7, 8 soldiers. So that's a pretty big wall now. So one extra soldier is about, I would probably say 100 units or so. So his wall is going to be an extra 100 units. So there's going to be wider choke points he can basically place it in to block off. So instead of the base of the ramp, he may be able to put it at the mouth of the ramp at the top, going into Dragon and Baron, which is quite nice. And his base mana is also increased because he does have mana problems early on. I think these buffs to Azir are fantastic. It makes his early bullying a little bit better. He's still slightly short range, but at least he'll be able to trade with people a bit more effectively, and I think this will actually make him a pick in different scenarios again. Quirky, his special delivery W is the ratio has been increased from 0.375 bonus attack to 0.5 bonus attack, and 0.05 ability to 0.06 ability, which is quite good. The burn duration is actually 1.5 seconds, so it burns for longer. And now slows champions that are directly hit and knocked aside for 1.5 seconds. Okay, so that's quite nice. So if you directly hit people, it will hit them with the slow that you would get normally in the field, which is quite nice. So that we may see Corki starting to reappear back in mid lane or in bot lane. Is it going to make him where he's 100% picked, he's picked automatically in mid lane, whereas Corki Azir? Probably not. I think the Azir buffs are a bit more significant though. Diana base mana decreased, W damage per orb increase. So her mana is lowered, so less safety for her in the lane, but she does more, her orb damage was decreased. So her W trading in the early phases, so she can be bullied earlier on. She's still going to have the shield to protect herself, but 4 damage per orb, that ends up being 12 damage over the laning phase. That's maybe an auto attack. Can it be significant? A little bit, but I think the mana nerf is a bit more punishing, because that's basically a usage of your W and a half. So yeah, it's quite bad for Diana. Echo, so there's specifically hitting jungle Echo. Okay, passive monster stack damage decreased. Okay, since it's 150% against monsters, so they basically want him to be a solo laner rather than a jungler, which makes sense. And especially since They're giving XP back to junglers later on in these notes. Um, he'll be since he already clears the jungle pretty quickly once he gets a little bit of AP on him, then he can be quite scary. Ezreal mana growth and attack speed growth increased. Okay. I think Ezreal is a pick that you'll always be in and around the meta. It's just a safe pick. It's something you could potentially blind pick into pretty much anything apart from a super lame bully like a Draven, or like a hyper carry. But it's just going to be a general safe pick. Can be flexed mid top and AD carry as well. But yeah, it's just good to see. The attack speed is probably a bit better for Ezreal. Obviously, the mana gives him more damage on his mana immune, but the attack speed is probably what's a little bit better for him, because it feels like he's more of a spell slinger rather than actually weaving in auto attacks, which is quite important for his damage overall. Gallio tornado duration is 2 seconds. The tornado damage ticks is up to 4. So basically, you basically want to have people stuck in the queue for longer, which is fine. It's a little bit more damage for him. Leona getting nerfed here. Her W damage was decreased by 20 at later ranks, so it scales from 0 to 20 damage off on W. That's not gonna change anything on Leona. And then the Zenith Blade damage is down by 10 at all ranks, so 30 damage on an all-in. It's not the reason why Leona is good. She's gonna be good because she's going to basically damage your HP bar. They nerfed Nautilus' hook. He's still going to be a good pick in the bot lane last patch. But if you want to beat these types of all-in champions, you just play mages and make sure that when they do go in, they're going to have 10 HP when they do. So mages are obviously quite good at the moment, but no one seems to be playing them down in the bot lane, which is quite interesting. Misfortune base attack speed growth decreased, 0.75% over 18 levels, so you're looking at 7.5% plus an additional 12% attack speed. That's like a Zeal's worth. Is it going to be significant? Late game you probably won't notice it too much. Probably in the mid game is probably where you'll feel it the most. Around 2 items. It's only slight, but it is a warranted nerf. She's more of a team fight AoE AD carry anyway, with the crit, and she's more of an auto attack resetter. Kind of a bit of a spell slinger, kind of like Lucian, but builds crit. But yeah, I think it's a warranted nerf. Rumble's been being seen in the mid lane and the top lane, and the problem is that his tankiness is proving to be quite of a problem. So let's see what they hit. So they just rounded his base stats, so his armor's up by basically a negligible amount, and his attack damage is down by a very small amount. Movement speed, scrap shield. So instead of 20 to 40% or 30 to 60% when enhanced, is now 15 to 35% and 22.5 to 52.5% when enhanced, and the shield damage is down by 20 at base rank. So this does affect Rumble quite a bit, so you can't just basically kind of dip in and out. If you do hit him with a slow, it's going to basically reduce his movement speed off his W. His shield's lower, and only goes up to the same value it was before. So, and if you're maxing it second after Flame Spitter, where you get the true tankiness value, so this is quite good. Make him a little bit more susceptible to ganks as well, which is something that the movement speed was used quite effectively against. So with a 60% enhanced at max rank, or even if you're in a defensive matchup, the 30%. From before it being enhanced up to 45% is now going to be down by 7% move speed, which is quite a bit. So you probably see that noticeable when being ganked or in trading patterns, which is where Rumble is susceptible to ganks if he has his W down, or if it is being hit, which be kind of interested to see how that plays out. Probably won't make him as tanky for the amount of damage that he does. Sejuani now has attack speed at level 1, bonus attack speed, so it makes her clear slightly faster, and her passive, Frost Armor removal, damage from epic monsters and enemy champions, is now damage from all monsters and enemy champions. So it basically makes it so that she can't just, when she's hitting the little wolves or the little birds, then she still loses her armor. Um, once it's been hit by anything now, rather than just, oh, if I kill the big wolf, then the little wolves will be tankier when tanking those. So it makes it a little bit more susceptible now that she has this attack speed. So she'll still be able to clear. She'll be able to clear even faster, but she'll probably lose a little bit around the same health actually. But it'll make it so that if she is fighting the little raptors, she doesn't have her passive up, which means that she's able to be, you know, combated effectively. Senna, miss rate drop chance adjusted. Spoils of War now counts as kills, reducing drop myth rate chance. E-bug fix, okay. So passive, 20% on minions doesn't kill, 100% on cannon. So now it's 25% on minions Senna doesn't kill, and then 1.6% chance on cannon minions Senna kills. So basically this makes it so that there's a higher chance for her to get more souls when being played in the support role, so she doesn't guarantee get a stack when farming. So yeah, it's pushing Senna more towards the support role. I assume she's going to guarantee. So we're adjusting the miss rate drop chances to her support role as a support. So say that 5 times fast. I thought they were going to say, did they get it 5 times faster? And then minion kills spawn spores war relic shield oriented. The Senna gets credit for reducing drop chance to 1.67%. So they're just basically toning down how fast she gains her passive, specifically in the marksman role as well. And then bug fix camouflage allies by the curse of the black mist no longer become invisible if Senna dies during the ability's effect. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So if you do happen to clip Senna with a skill shot of some kind, it will drop the curse of the black mist, which makes sense. I said this when the champion came out, that it was going to be a nightmare to basically balance where she's played in the AD carry versus the support role. I think Senna AD carry is bad because of the HP scaling that she has in late game. She doesn't do as much as basically like a Jhin or something like that. Although her utility is a bit makes up for it. Kind of like how Ashe doesn't do as much damage as Jhin in raw output until 3-4 items. In terms of constantly auto attacking, but her utility makes up for it with the Ashe Arrow and the Hawk Shot. But yeah, I think Senna's still really good as support. I wouldn't expect her to see as an AD carry because of her passive being hit in that regard. Set, I think Set's pretty is a solid champion right now, but still feels a bit on the slower side in terms of in terms of flow. And it seems like they're nerfing him, which is something that I feel is is not what he needs basically. So his health regen is being nerfed by 0.25. Probably won't see too much of the effects of that. Cooldown on Haymaker, his W is now going to be increased by 4 seconds at max rank, and the base damage is being decreased at later ranks. I think that Set he's a good champion at the moment. Probably needed some buffs rather than nerfs. I think it's just people, when they're playing against him, they don't really know how to deal with a decaying shield. Yeah, and I think his ult's a bit weird for his range as well. So I'd like to see a bit more fluidity on that. Sona self movement speed decreased, so they basically over buffed her, I guess. So they basically reduced it back down 5%. So not too much of a change there. Yumi, they made her Q empowered damage is now lower, but is now base, and it has a target's current health. So basically, it's gonna hit harder when they're at higher HP, but less when they're at lower HP, and it's gonna be slightly higher at rank 1, but will be lower overall. They said they no longer just a heal bot. Cats can't be trained to heal anyways. The puns are so bad. Her Q should be more worthwhile to cast even in mid to late game. Yeah, that makes sense based on the change. W and me silence no longer counts as immobilizing effect that places you and me on a 5-second cooldown. Interesting. And then the Zoomies heal are being decreased by quite a bit, but they're making it so that she has to build a little bit more AP to basically get that back. But the nerf at max rank of 40 HP is actually quite noticeable. So they're giving her a little bit more damage, but sacrificing her ability to heal. So I think this is a pretty significant nerf overall in terms of Yumi's utility. I don't see people picking up Yumi anytime soon just because of the way her W interacts now with the slight channel time, but we'll have to see. In terms of jungle monsters, so they changed a lot here, so let's go through it. Large jungle monster XP up by 10. First large jungle monster XP bonus is down by 15. The minion gold penalty, 10 less gold from lane minions if more than half the farm. The removed item completion, now it's 13 less gold. Removed at 14 minutes. Okay, so you basically, if you're just soaking up minion waves in jungle camps, you get punished more for the gold. But basically, after 14 minutes, you can farm as much minion waves as you want, as long as even if you don't have a jungle item. So, which seems pretty good to me. It makes it so that junglers can actually get XP and money. Even instead of just being a a sitting ganking jungler, as it were. Krug camp total XP is up by 15. It gives you 10 more gold. The large Krug base XP is down. The medium Krug base XP is up, and the small Krug XP is up. So you basically want to kill all of the small Krugs and the medium Krugs because that's where the XP is. Force you to clear the entire jungle camp. The gold is then pushed into the medium and smaller Krugs, forcing you to clear the entire camp, which is good. The red buff and blue buff XP are down by 5, and the scaling from level 4 is up by 0.05 XP, and the level 5 through 6 is up by 0.05. So slight increases there. They basically we nerfed jungler XP because they're gaining around 40 XP less per minute. As a result, we're giving back around half the XP we took. So laners can't co-opt it. Additionally, we're making sure Krugs feel worthwhile to kill because it's better to kill the Gromp now just because it's one target, while still requiring the intended time for the reward of the trade-off. Finally, we're addressing the funnel strategy by tightening the minion gold restriction further. So basically, it's going to be harder to funnel in the first 13 minutes and 59 seconds of the game, but after 14 minutes you'll be able to basically funnel as much gold as you want. But that makes sense. I think the funnel strat is an interesting strat, but I don't think it's something that is fun for anyone, especially in solo queue. And then some visual changes to Annie and to Malphite and to Nautilus. Some ARAM changes, which we don't really care too much about. A bunch of bug fixes, and then we got the different skins here. So we got True Damage Senna, looks quite nice. Got the Louis V logo. We then got Heartseeker, Jinx, and Yumi. Looks quite cute. Kind of reminds me of an Alice in Wonderland type vibe going on there. And all the different skin colors there for the chromas. Which one looks probably? I like this one here. That one's pretty cool. And the base one's obviously pretty cool as well. And then for the Heartseeker Yumi, this is probably going to be annoying because it's going to be harder to see in fights because of the obscure colors. Maybe this one as well. So that could be quite annoying. But yeah, overall good looking stuff there. I like the jungle changes. I like some of the changes they did, which we can quickly run down. We have them all here. So the champions that they buffed, I like the Azir changes. It'll probably make him picked more often. Corki, not as much. Ezreal, still going to be Ezreal. Yumi, they say it was a buff, but they nerfed the healing. And I think the healing is what makes Yumi really good. Stats, so the utility side of things is what Yumi's kind of looking for. Sejuani, going to be able to clear a little bit faster, but you're going to be able to combat her in the jungle, so it's a good trade-off. Gallio, just a straight buff. Akali nerf warranted. Don't want to, like, people stop picking the champion. Felios makes sense. 1800 range is still a screen length away. Diana hurts her early game. It's a good nerf. Echo, slight nerf to jungle Echo. Leona, nerf, but it's not going to change much. She's still going to be picked, and it still can be combated by ranged mages. MF nerf is fine. Rumble nerf makes him more susceptible to ganks. Senna, player support, not AD carry. Set nerfs don't really make too much sense considering I think the champion was clunky and actually needed buffs. And Sona, just a slight tuning, which in the grand scheme of things won't make too much of a difference. You'll see the slight effects of the super late game, but she's still going to be super fast. But yeah, that's going to do it for the patch notes. Hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to check this out on the YouTube channel, PilotFlame226, where we're going to be posting it over there, and we can see all other patch notes on there as well. I have a playlist for that. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and here on Twitch, PilotFlame226 as well. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And until the next video, take care.